Hey, I think we're recording. I just woke up. It is now 6:31 a.m. First thing I do is make a comic. Or work on it anyways. Um my problem with this panel I'm looking at right now that I want to start is it's a space background, but this whole back area is going to be space, so we're going to lose the panel borders if we're not careful. So I've got to come up with a way to, let me show you again. I've got to come up with a way to not black this whole panel out. And I have an idea. So first of all, we've got to show him coming out of the spaceship here. Oh, shoot. Just playing around with these crazy brushes. Rusty nib. There we go. Inking layer. And you don't stop. All right. In a lot of ways, I've kind of made Stardust a bit like Adam Warlock in the original. Oh, shoot. My eraser is all crazy now, too. How do we fix the eraser? Yeah. Let's see. I think my eraser. No, cancel. Yeah, use that one. So I think a lot of the secret to getting your comic pages done is to not be too precious about it, and to emphasize storytelling above. I've been thinking about this. A lot of what people do with their comic drawing is they're just sort of kind of fetishizing figure drawing. Like, look, I'm drawing comics, and they're just drawing figures. Um, or look, I'm drawing comics, and they're just drawing pinup poses. They're just drawing characters. You know, emphasize what's going on in the panels, what the character is saying, thinking, doing. In this, he's supposed to be flying out of a the hatch of the spaceship into space, and we've got this problem with him because I've got to do something other than black, and my two choices are black and white. But actually, it's an infinite number of choices. You could do all kinds of crazy things. It's just whether or not at 6:30 in the morning I can think of those crazy things to do. One thing I thought maybe we would do is just do like a shimmer effect around him. I had these little star things that the old the old Captain Marvel when he would fly through space. And I think even Photon when they would have her flying around. And leave this trail of sparkles. Screwed up this hand or what? Okay. Oh, it is early. Alright, I think we've done it right there. I think he's got it. Whoops. This is why I couldn't be trusted around a real ink pen. It's almost Inktober. Got one more month to go. I'm actually feeling a little intimidated for Inktober this year because I'm definitely going to do it. I haven't been working in ink lately. I was just thinking about this the other night. I'm like, well, I'm doing color. I'm doing, oil pastel. I'm doing, trying to learn things like pop-ups, and I've been doing the automata and other stuff. I do an automata a day. But I think that because of the tradition of doing one every day, I should continue to do ink. I should go back and do ink. It might be a nice change for me, too. Nice change of pace. All right. I got a problem. I know that his midsection has this sort of belt-like piece, which has more of the triangles. It also has I think this is kind of hilarious to me, polka dots. There we go, like that. Oh, shoot. Try not to get too enslaved by the pencil layer either. Okay, this is our opening hatch on the spacecraft. Let's take a look. What? Bring it back. Hold on. I want to remove this. All right, it looks okay so far. I just have to figure out how to do the space background. And an option that is not open to me is to simply black it out. Let's bring the pencils back for a moment. I like the idea of these sort of shimmering space clouds. And then even that he leaves kind of this wake of stars. One thing I was thinking of doing, wait, let's make some noise. No, make some hold on. We'll see. I was thinking maybe make some kind of shimmer around him. Wallywood number whatever, This is not really well they would. Don't worry too much about the whoops. About the speech bubble, as always. Speech bubble superimpose. It's just a trick of the layer. Something like that. Let's take the pencils up for a second and just evaluate what we're doing here. I think it looks okay. Let's put the speech bubble back in and figure out what we're doing from there. I'm gonna need this is how disorganized I am. I have one group called inking brushes, one group called ink, and one group called inking, and the one I want is in inking. All right, I'm in bubbles. Okay, as always, we're going to use, whenever we can, we're going to use the panel border. Just hide it in there. Maybe not. That was a pretty good one. We're going to throw down our white. And we're going to make some corrections. We could even halo out our speech bubble very subtly. I think that works. I think that we see that we're in space here. And we see Stardust kind of glowing with power. This is the printing size. Sometimes I take a regular comics page and we can do like a compare and contrast. This is the actual. This is another 9 volt. So actually, oh, I'm looking at it a little bit large. This will be about printing size. So how does it read? You know what? It reads a little small to me. I'm looking at it. No, it reads okay. You know, we see this. There's a lot. The the words are clear. I think my line weight is a little bit warped. Oh shit! I just realized I'm using the wrong nib. Bring your nibs back. All right. I'm just looking for broken lines to reinforce. We could look for different ways to frame the character too. We could put maybe some Kirby crackle or something behind him. Frame him out a little bit. Distant planet. I think the gray was working. All right. Let us go for it. We're going to keep working. I'm at 17 minutes. And working foreground and back. We're going to start with the ship, which is up here in the foreground. I'm going to have a gentle curve on it, more like that. I started reading Astro Boy again last night. I think I'm on like volume 10 of the Tezuka collection. And there's kind of a throwaway story where I think they're supposed to be Americans, have somehow lost a H-bomb in the Pacific Ocean near Japan, and Astro Boy has to go find it to defuse it. So they make but he seems to abdicate. Like he goes off to go find it, but they don't know where he's gone, and they think he's abdicated his responsibilities. So they make another robot called Cobalt. And Cobalt, at some point, because he's more hastily made, he breaks down and he gets captured by the same guys that lost the H-bomb, and they take him apart to try and fix him. Or not to fix him, to study him. But what ends up happening is, I don't know if I should have done that. What ends up happening is, well, Astro Boy saves the day, but the robot that the bad guys had, they design it to be more like Cobalt, but Cobalt was actually designed to batch up with Astro Boy, so immediately their robot just abandons them and joins Astro Boy's creator somehow. And then they take him apart and they look at him. And then it ends kind of like there. Like, okay, is that the end of the... Like, what happens with that robot? I was kind of interested. That was the end of Volume 9. And they move right on to a different story. Okay. I'm kind of liking the idea of this imperfect band of black. Maybe I'll just draw it down a little bit further. I don't have to black out all of space if I do that. Let's take a look at our spaceship. This is a quote that gave me pause to think, but ultimately I disagreed with. This was a Narwhal on X, formerly known as Twitter. Let's just call it X. I like X better. Um, and he says, "Oh, comics are always meant to be a little bit confusing." And I totally disagree. The truth is, they are often confusing. Too often, they are confusing. But they're meant to be clear as day. I mean, that's the whole point of the comic. Is the picture is supposed to explain what's going on in the story, and the story, helps give context to the picture. It's like a cantilevered thing, and a lot of it is just that people aren't sure how to depict a certain thing, or they're afraid to reveal the motive in the story. Why did the character do this thing? Um, I think if we place this character in front of this big light, we're almost certain to have to black him out. I said I disagree, but it's kind of funny. Peter Samedi uh, stepped in and said they're supposed to be interactive. They're supposed to want to draw you in further, not necessarily be confusing or a little confusing. But I see pages and I look at everybody's work. Believe me, I'm trying to learn, so I'm always looking at stuff. I see a lot of confusing pages, and first of all, it's the mark of an amateur. Like it really is to try to either intentionally be or unintentionally be confusing. Um, I think only a true amateur would really intentionally be confusing and just unexplained stuff. But like if it's a Silver Age comic done by one of the major contenders, up through the 60s, and I don't just count Marvel and DC, but I count Charlton and Dell as well. You want to be as clear as possible. You want to over-explain if you have to. In fact, it's kind of the writer's job to not to have to over-explain. Make it as clear as possible. What's going on and why characters are doing what they're doing without using um, over-explanation. That's why things like narration boxes and thought bubbles exist. Once again, these are conventions that have not been used for almost 20 years. All right. Silver Age is my jam, I gotta say. The other day, a guy named I think his name on Instagram is Noble Failure. Um, he posted some pictures from uh, Spooky the Tough Little Ghost, which is a Harvey comic, another mainstream comic. Another comic that would never dare to try and be confusing on purpose. And I was just looking at him, and it's like a time machine for me. I was saying, you know, those old Harvey comics are so great. All right, let's take a look. I think I made his feet too big or too weird. Your feet are too weird. And I got a lot of lost lines, lost contours. Actually, I think his feet are okay. We'll go ahead and black them out. There's a chance that we're going to end up darkening the back of him, like as we have this energy portal in the foreground. I mean, in the background. All right, so let's rusty nib this thing. Actually, the one I want to use is the Impasto brush, which I thought looked kind of cool. Some of these ink wash brushes are kind of cool as well. I'm looking at this blocky pointillist one. The vortex brush. What does that do? I'm trying to create a vortex. If I could remember what brush I was using to do this stuff up here. The Weirdo Wash. So right here, I think it's fine to go in complete black because we're gonna break it with the whoops, with the speech bubble and the stars. Stars, my destination. I'm on the ink layer. Notice he keeps checking. I think it was a flat brush. There's that grindhouse palette knife. Maybe that's what I was using. All right, let's go back into the back gradient. That's what it is. Just want to erase so we don't lose any of our details around the ship. Okay. Same deal here. And now, let's bring this back gradient back to regular opacity. Take a look. What we care about are these edges. Let's take the pencils out for a moment. Actually, looks kind of cool if I take away some of that crazed energy signature that I had going on. So I love these edges. One thing I don't love is right here. Okay. I think what we ultimately have to do is sort of put some kind of glow effect around the ship. Let's switch it out for third grade art class. There's a grindhouse flat in there too. Let's get back just for a moment. We're going to get back to Rusty Nib. Unless I don't. Distressed brush pen. Okay. Recent. Rusty Nib. I'm using eraser to try and get some erasing stars. It's not working. And what is it? Because I'm in. Because I'm in the ink layer or the black gradient. So I'm trying to draw stars. It's not working. What if I took the ink layer off and the back gradient off? So the photocopied tech pen, it's no bueno. Okay, there we go. If you remember the end of the stream that I did yesterday, whoops, I'm at 35 minutes. My pen became unlinked from the iPad. And fixing it was pretty easy. I know we're going long here. Fixing it was pretty easy. I just had to reattach it and restart my iPad. But I'm getting a little worried about the iPad. I mean, I've had it for a few years here, and it's served me well. But it, might be ready for a refurb. I don't know. Is this too many stars? Can you have too many stars? Does those read as stars? That one works. That one works. All right. I think we're okay. I think what we're going to have to do is ultimately um, do those speech bubbles. This page is going to look great once the speech bubbles are on there. I think it looks pretty good right now. It's definitely looking a little bit experimental, which is kind of cool. I'm liking it. Let me get my shucky darn. Let me get my fudge knuckles. How about inking right here? Okay, there we go. Let me get my speech bubbles fixed. Please like, follow, and subscribe. We'll be on later tonight on Drive-In Saturday. Hope you can make it. And I'll be working on my sketchbook, probably do some oil pastels, maybe make another automata. They're quite fun, as you know. All right, talk to you later. Bye.